welcome to Investment Talk Only with Johnny Ruiz. It's time
Yo,
to
what
get to
up?
the money.
What
Welcome to Investment
It's
up?
Talk
Investment Talk
Only.
Only.
This
If
is
you
the
say you
show
got the money,
where
you gotta show
we
me.
break
A
down
lot of
money and
people talk, but
investing.
that be
It's your
phony. I just
educational
remember
and
what Jerry
entertaining
Mack
show
told
for
me.
investing. Monique, how you doing today?
I feel, I say that all the time. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You look like you're happy. You have like this big smile on your face.
We had a big week. So we took off for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff has happened. Tesla just keeps on going up, so I'm excited.
Yes.
Um, broke out the hoodie this time. Last time broke out the shades, now I'm breaking out the hoodie.
I need one of those. I keep saying that.
All right, so this episode is an explainer. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
for this one, this is following up on the FOREX episode. And so we always like to follow up explainer after the episodes. So this
Mm-hmm.
explainer has to do with technical analysis. And the reason why it follows FOREX is because when you're a trader, whether you're trading stocks or Forex or futures, all traders use technical analysis. So it doesn't matter what you're trading, they look at the same stuff. So since I'm not an expert on Forex, this is what I offer to you as to follow up on that episode. So we're gonna look at um, trading charts. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do a kind of like a dive into some technical analysis and looking at some patterns and some charts.
The charge, is this for day traders only, or is it stock people who are into like long-term trading as or stocks?
So when you trade, it's more like short term. So investing is like long term, like you're gonna hold it for like a year or even further out, maybe
Mm,
5 years. So they're not really big on
okay.
chart. When you're a trader, that's when you look at charts. So you could be a day trader, which is you trade in and out the same security on the same day,
Mm-hmm.
or you could be a swing trader, which you trade in and out this same security uh, within a few days or a few weeks, or maybe in a few months. But
Okay.
so the term trader is attached to those more short-term plays, and all those traders
Got
will
it.
look at charts to kind of gauge where they want to get in and get out.
Okay. That's cool. All right, that explains
All
it.
right, so you already know. I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it looks like Christmas.
All right, so a lot of stuff going on here, but let me break it down. I want us to ignore all this up here, right, for now.
Okay. All right.
And we're gonna break it down to two sections. This big section here, and then this section on the right. So middle and then the right.
Okay.
So the first one, and we're doing this live. It's in the middle of the day, so the stock market is still going on. We're looking at Tesla right now, and we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing this chart move live. So that's pretty cool. All right. So the first part is this big square here in the middle, and this contains what we call candles. These are called candlesticks because if you look at this one is the perfect example right here. It kind of looks like a candle with the wick up top.
Mm-hmm.
So each candle represents a time frame. And right now we're on the 1 minute time frame. If I click here, I could change it to any time frame and it's going to look the same.
Mm.
All right. So I'm going to go back to well, we'll keep it at 5 minutes. All right. So each candle represents a 5 minute time frame for this example. And when the candles are green,
Mm-hmm.
that means the price went up. That means it started from the bottom here and went up and ended it here in that time frame.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes to the next 5 minutes, same thing. This one was green. Now this one's red. That means the price went down. So the Tesla stock actually went down within these 5 minutes. So it started here and it ended
Mm-hmm.
and it closed here. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
all. That's all this is. It kind of looks like the Matrix when you're you know looking at it
Mm-hmm.
for the first time, but it's as simple as that. All right.
Yo, I've seen this before, and I've been like so lost. And then now that you explain it, I'm kind of mad that it looks this crazy and it's so simple.
Yep. And so traders, what they do is we kind of find trends in the
Mm-hmm.
price movement. So we see this one is going up and up and up. So a savvy trader will jump in somewhere in here and probably
Mhm.
get out somewhere here before the price goes down, and that's how we
But how
make
do they
money.
know?
It's you just recognize patterns. I mean, it's a lot of studying, it's a lot of
Mhm.
repetition. It's a lot of just getting in there and through
Yeah.
experience and seeing what works or not. But
Okay.
the main thing is recognizing patterns, which is a whole another thing. Um, so each candlestick is a price movement, all right? And then we have
Mhm.
some lines here. We got 3 lines. Um, so these are moving averages. So moving averages means what the price movement is for an average period of time. So for instance, this purple one, if you look at the legend here, it says moving average MA Tesla 50. So this is the 50 moving average, meaning the last 50 time periods,
Mhm.
all these, this was the average play, or this was the average price for the last 50. So basically, if this is the last, if this is the moving average for the last 50 and it's
Mhm.
trading above it, that means lately this stock has been moving up and trade, it's been appreciating compared to what it's been doing in the past. So these are past averages. So
Mhm.
basically, all these are lower than what it's currently at. So that means that it's been appreciating lately. So this is all these lines are. It's just moving averages, just an indication of what it's been doing in the past. And
Mhm.
so, for example, if these candlesticks were below the past averages, that means that it's been depreciating and
Mhm.
it's been in a downtrend. So
Does
that's all that is.
those past averages, does it tell you when? There's like a time frame, like a year, month, whatever, or it's just.
So it's so like I said, these are 5 minute candles.
Mhm.
So this one is a 50 moving average. So it's the last 50 of these.
Oh, okay.
So, and then this pink one is a 200 moving average. So this is the last 200 of these.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
that means
that's
that it goes
going
out
fast.
further. Yeah. It goes back even further. So that means the 50 is above the 200 and then
Mhm.
the current is above that. So that means it's just been on a tear.
Yeah.
That's a,
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah. And
That is crazy.
like I told everybody it would be on a tear. But anyways, that's
He's like,
all
I
right.
try to tell you guys in stock of the week, but you know what? That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's like a lot.
Yeah. All right. So let's go down to the next one because there's a lot to cover here and I want to give them
Okay.
everything. All right. So this is the volume here, these bars.
Mhm.
And the two best indicators a trader could have is price movement, which we just covered,
Mhm.
and volume. The reason why is because, so let's say you see how these volumes like peak at
Mhm.
certain parts,
Yeah.
and look at what the price does when those volume peak. So right here we see little price movement, and then we see a peak of green volume. That means there's more buyers. That's buyers when it's green,
Okay.
and then we see the stock go up. And then we
Gotcha.
see a peak of sellers in here. So there's more sellers than buyers, and the stock goes down. So
Uh,
these are just indicators of what the stock is going to do. And they're not always perfect, but these are good. The more indicators you have
mhm.
in what you think is going to happen, the more confident you have in placing a trade. So example here again, little volume. Then we spiked and some more buyers coming in, and look at
Mhm.
the price movement. It spiked.
Wow.
All right. So that's the volume. And all these, everything on here is suggestions I would suggest a trader, if you want to get into it,
Mhm.
have on their screen. Okay. So that's volume. The next one. So those are the two most important ones. These ones are cool to have, but they're not as important, but they're cool to have. So this is
Mhm.
called the MACD, and it's this
The
portion
what?
right there. It's called a MACD.
MACD. Okay.
All right. So if you look at these lines here, got a green line and a red line. It's the same thing. So the green line represents buyers. The red line represents sellers.
Okay.
So basically, right now it says the red line is above the green line. That means there are more sellers than buyers.
Okay.
And you can see that here in the price movement, it is going down a lot. And you see here the MACD, you see why. There's more sellers than buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, that's just another indicator in your favor to give you more information. So the reason why you use this is if you look in this area, once you see a transition of this green crossing over the red, meaning
Mm-hmm.
like there's more buyers than sellers, kind of like this area right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see the price movement. See, the green was below the red, and then it crossed over, and then the price moved up.
Mm.
So it's just another indicator of, hey, how much buyers are playing right now, how much
Mm-hmm.
sellers are playing. And when if you get more buyers, then obviously the price is probably going to go up.
Got you.
All right, we're cool on that one?
Yeah.
All right. And then the last indicator that we have is RSI. RSI is very popular. It stands for Relative Strength Index. And this is it's just one line here for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at this number here, this is the number for RSI. So the closer that it is to 0, that means that there's a lot of sellers. And that means it's
Oh.
oversold.
Okay.
The closer it is to 100, that means it's a lot of buyers. That means it's overbought. So that means that, say it's close to 100,
Mm-hmm.
that means that it's kind of overheating and it needs some time to cool down. And it might not be a good time to buy because probably some people are going to start selling.
So you want it to be like around the 50, like in the middle?
So you want it to be like pretty much like crossing the 50 and going upwards towards 70.
Okay.
Because like people are coming in and that's kind of like the sweet spot around like 70, like when it's approaching 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this like I said, that's just an indicator. It's not a go-to like, hey, if it says it's buy here. That's not it. It's just
Yeah. It's
another
like
indicator. Yeah.
it's just like a combination of everything. Like you see you're good to go on this, you see you're good to go on that.
Exactly.
And you
Yep.
just kind of like go down and you like fill out the other indicators.
And I'm happy this is live because look at this. This one, it went down. This candlestick went down a lot. There's a lot of sellers. There's
Mm-hmm.
sellers more than buyers here on a MACD. Now on the RSI, the RSI was 19 for it, which is really low.
Mm-hmm.
So every indication said that this is it's going down. And now as
Yeah.
you can see, it's rising up in real time. And look at the price in real time.
So I have a question for you as a trader. Would you buy because it's going down, right? So would you go in and be like, all right, I'm going to buy this because the price is low and then sell it when it goes back up?
Yeah, that's the name of the game. When everybody's selling, you buy at the low and then you wait for it to go up like here. So this candle kind of stopped at the moving average here.
Mm-hmm.
So when it does that, this is like kind of called like a support level. So when it stops at a certain point that is like it's obvious like what's happening here. Like so it stopped right here at the moving average.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people wanting to buy here at this price. And that's called a support level. Like you can kind of get a good gauge that it's probably not going to break the support level. And if it does, then I might just keep on falling and you want to get out. But so if I was a trader, I might buy right at this point because this is a support level, and, which it did stop there and went up, and then I'll sell high. So yes, to answer your question, I would definitely buy low, sell high.
Gotcha.
All right.
This is not as hard as I thought it was.
It's not hard at all. Anybody can do it.
Yeah,
all right, so
that's crazy.
So that's for this screen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then right here, I have news. So any news that comes up about Tesla, I'll get it right here. So news came in at 220. So this is just good for like if you're looking at Tesla and something pops up like yesterday when Goldman turns bullish on Tesla. That's a big deal. You want to see that and you want to probably jump on the trade before anybody else does because you see the news of it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're done on this side. Now let's go on this side. Right here, these are called level twos,
Okay.
which is very important. If you don't have this on your screen when you're trading, you're wrong. All right.
Mm.
This is like the auction where all the buyers and sellers are, and they're just waiting. They're waiting for their price point to get in or out. Now,
Like double Dutch.
yes. Now that's important because if there's a whole bunch of sellers at some price point,
Mm-hmm.
you know that if you can get in right after all those sellers are gone,
Mm-hmm.
that the price is going to go up a lot. So for example, if the price is at 100 and there's a whole bunch of the price is at $99 and there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of sellers at $100 and it keeps on coming up to 100, 100, 100 and keeps on coming down because everybody's selling there,
Mm-hmm.
there's only so many sellers. So once all those sellers go out and it hits 100, it's probably going to break out and keep on going to 105, 110. So you want to know where those sellers are and those buyers, and you see them here on the level twos.
Mm. So how do you know somebody's okay? So do they like click something that says I'm a seller, like letting people know that they're selling, or
So
is it
this,
those their stop losses or whatever?
you see this right here. It says bid and ask.
Mm-hmm.
These are buyers. These are sellers over here. These are two
Mm-hmm.
columns. So you know everybody here is a seller. You know everybody here is a buyer. And this is considered the spread too. The difference between the bid price and the sell price is called the spread. And
Okay.
when the spread is has a wider range, the stock is more volatile.
Okay.
All right. And then the last thing on here is this over here. So this is
Mm-hmm.
literally the last trades that went through in real time. Like
Oh
these
wow.
are somebody bought here, somebody bought here, somebody bought here, somebody sold here, somebody sold here
That's
in real time.
crazy.
And so you want to know what the last trade, you want to know what's happening.
Uh-huh.
So you have all the information you need right here to get in and out of trade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's technical analysis and a chart reading one-on-one.
I like it. I've looked at this before and I was just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It's
It's
pretty cool,
so
right?
simple. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because it's not easy because you gotta really be on point. But
So Tesla's getting crushed right now, but if you look up here, it's already up $24. So it's coming down to earth. That's all, because it's just
up
been killing it.
$24 from this morning
Yeah,
of when
the
the
whole
market
day.
opened. Okay, so when it has that plus minus, that's from the day of the morning of.
From the closing day before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then when you first opened this, you had it on minute, not 5 minutes. Is that what you use? Use a minute?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up.
I
So
got
when you're trading,
you. Mm-hmm.
hold on, let me take the camera off. So when you're trading,
Mm-hmm.
the name of you want to be in when stuff is moving. You
Mm-hmm.
heard Ron coming on the FOREX episode that he trades late at night because that's when everything's moving. So
Yeah.
for the stock market, the U.S. stock market, everything moves. It's called prime time from 9:30 to 11:30. That's prime time.
Okay.
That's why when we always try to get together or something, like, 9:30.
Yeah, but like,
You gotta do
hey,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's prime time. So 9:30 to 10:30 or 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm doing the minute candles, because there's so much activity that you'll get the nice candles on a minute time frame. Now from 11:30 to about, let's just call it 3.
Okay.
There's not much activity. If you trade on that, the patterns that you learn are not as reliable. So you
Okay.
really want to get your trading out before 11:30. But in that time
Okay.
frame, I will use 5-minute time frame from
Yeah.
11:30 to 3, and then from 3 to 4, activity starts picking up again. It's called power hour. It's the last
Okay.
hour of the day.
Mhm.
I will use like a 1 minute or 2 minute candle or time frame. So it depends
Okay.
on what time of the day it is.
That makes sense. So yeah, that was a good question. Because I
Yep.
was wondering, because like when you first opened it, it was 1 minute and then you changed it to 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, well, what do we use? Like 1 minute, 5 minutes?
And then if you're a swing trader where you're
Mhm.
holding a few days, you change it to a daily candle. So each candle represents 1 day.
Okay.
And it's the same patterns, the same stuff. Super cool. Let me
I
throw one
can't.
more thing out. We saw on my screen the yellow line.
Okay.
That's a very good moving average. It's called VWAP. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it's a volume weighted average price. That's a very good indicator for moving averages. A lot of people don't use it, but
Mhm.
it's underrated. Basically, what I'm saying. So VWAP for you guys.
Okay. I feel like this is like the meat and potatoes of it. This is where like
We're getting advanced now. We're
I
graduating.
know. I'm like, I was like, it's so crazy. It's already been like 2 months and we're over here like, okay, this is the mindset. And then now it's like we're already here.
Yep.
Because this is where you make moves.
Yep. This is
The
life.
trading.
Yep.
Yeah, trading is where you make moves. Everybody hits me up and they're like, oh, I want to get into it and stuff. And they're like, but they've experienced investing, but they'll do the long term. Like, what do you mean? Like you could make this kind of money. And I'm like, that's
Exactly.
trading.
Yep.
That's not necessarily the long term investing. Long term, I would say is like the 401ks, like, for your future
Yep.
retirement plans and stuff like that. But if you're like, well, I'm trying to make money like today, tomorrow, it will
Yep.
be like the trading.
So thanks for watching. Again, this is Investment Talk Only. I've been your host, Johnny Ruiz with Monique Benitez. Please like and subscribe and share the channel.
Hit the bell.
And hit that
Hit
bell.
the bell.
All right, till next time.
Notification.